it's Rachel from the So Happy Quilters Association. I'm going to show you around my sewing room tonight. So we're just going to wait for a couple of minutes just to see if some people come on and give you a bit of chance, because it's literally just turning 7 p.m. here in the UK. And I might have a cat to show you. There is one lurking. We do have 3. But there's only one that's been supportive tonight because the other 2 have decided to sleep. So welcome to my sewing room, and I'm gonna show you around, and I'll tell you a little bit of story about how this actually came about, because it didn't start off as a sewing room. It started off as something completely different quite a few years back, but I'm just going to turn it over to here so you can see this bit here. So let me just stand in the corner. You will probably see a cat in a minute. There she is, our little Bailey cat. So this is the first part of my sewing room, and this is where I do all my sewing and I do all my teaching, and over the back I have all my cottons. As you can see, there is a lot of the cottons. I'm going to take you down there and show you a bit more in a minute, and then I have my design board that's over the back. This is all like quilts that I'm working on or working with, or trying to actually decide what to do with them. And then I have my beautiful quilt on the back wall. I am going to do another Facebook Live at some point, and I'm going to tell you about that quilt because there's a bit of story behind it. And I am doing, hello Tony, hello Sarah, I am doing something very similar but with a different theme, so I can tell you about that. And yes, you can see our lovely little Bailey cat is here, so let's see where she's going. She's probably going to go somewhere. So I'm going to turn the screen and I will tell you a bit more about my if it will let me do it. I can't see how you do it, but anyway, okay, obviously I can't do that. So I'm going to talk to you more about my sewing room. So this part here is where I do all my workshops, and I use these amazing tables called So Easy tables, and it's an American company, but there is a Europe rep who is called Claire, and she's great. She's based in Ireland. She's really, really helpful. And what's really, really good about these tables, apart from obviously the cat walking across it, is the fact that you can fold them down and you can take them to workshops. You can take them to your sewing retreats. And if you ever want a bigger space, you can fold them up and put them back. I'll show you the leaflet for them, which is here. So this is the So Easy tables. They do different ones. They do the grand table, which you would need for a much bigger machine. So my quilting machine's on one of those, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then they do the portable table. So that's the ones that I actually have here. And as you can see, they have an inset into it. So you can have your sewing machine sitting up on the top if you want to. And some people who come here for classes do very much want to put their sewing machines up on the top. But also I do, when you come here for sewing classes, I do have Janome DKS 100s, which you can borrow. And then what I would do is I take out the middle inset, and you would use the lovely little plastic insert, and you would put that in there. And that is where we're going to try and show you, that is where you're going to put your sewing machine. So with the tables, they do include one of these inserts, and obviously you can use it for multiple machines. I do have multiples of these, so you can ask lovely Claire from So Easy to provide extra ones of those. So I'm just going to bring you around here. You can see, obviously, that is where my ironing table is. We are just going to come down here, and you can see the cat is lurking. And so this table here that I have my Benina on, my 790, is on the grand table because you need the extra strength. And it's really great. I love my lovely little layout. And as I was saying at the beginning, hello Bernie, I can see you. As I was saying at the beginning, this didn't start out as a sewing room, and because I was a florist for 12 years, and what I used to do was I used to make all the flowers in this room, do all the consultations in here. And then in the other room is where I used to have all the flowers that were stored, because I only did artificial flowers, and so I needed a lot of storage. And obviously COVID hit, all the weddings stopped. It was amazing. I had a complete breather, and then I decided to sell the business in 2023, and then I started teaching patchwork and quilting, which I absolutely love. And so it's kind of developed from there really, and it's a really great space. And as you can see, all of the cottons, yes, there are hundreds of them, and I will have to live until I'm about 458 maybe to actually use them all. I do sell some of them when people come for the classes. I do sell the sew all thread, so you can buy those. I'm a bit precious about the other ones, but you know, if you're really desperate, I might let you. But yeah, so I'm going to show you the other room. Let's see if Bailey Cat comes with us. Our other two cats are not bothered. They're both fast asleep today. And if Terry and Maz are listening, you're probably saying, other cats? Yes, we now have a kitten. So, yeah. So now we're going to come into my room. That this is where I used to store all the flowers, and now it is all amazingly fabrics. And so as you can see, it is all racked out, and it's all lovely, lovely, lovely organised. I've got the boxes for my fat quarters. I've got my meters. I tend to roll it onto bolts. If it's over like 2 meters, I'll roll it onto bolts because it protects the fabric more. And then I have boxes for scraps, little scraps, big scraps, any kind of scraps. And obviously boxes for wadding. I do like to keep every little bit of wadding that I possibly can. And yeah, and so I'll just show you a little bit more, and probably Bailey Cat will probably come out. And then here is where I now keep all of my quilts. I know when I did my first Facebook Live, I was saying I probably shouldn't keep them how I keep them. And now they are out direct sunlight, so that's good. Very excitedly, we've got the ones that Bernie has long-armed for me. I'm going to open them later tonight, so that's exciting because the box is sitting there waiting to be opened. I've only opened the top. Yeah, it's great, isn't it, Bernie? I'm very lucky. Yeah, and I haven't actually opened I haven't looked. I've just like taken off what you put in the top, so I'm going to have a look at that. So the other reason what we've been doing is ready for the SHQA website is to have our shop area. So we are going to be stocking a few bits and bobs, not huge amounts of stuff, just things that I really, really love, really like certain makes that I really, really love. And hi Susan, you just logged in. You haven't missed much. If a few more people log in later on, then I'll go back into the other room, but I know you've said it, Susan. So yeah, so this is like my storeroom, and as you can see through the middle, I have this amazing cutting table right through the middle. A lot of people ask me what it actually is on, and it's actually on IKEA breakfast tables because they're perfect height, they're perfect waist height to cut, and then you can put the A0 boards on the top. There's 2 A0 boards on the top, and so when people come for their workshops or when I'm just doing my quilting, it's a great space to stand and cut all the fabrics out, and yeah, and it works really, really, really well. So I'm going to show you, what should I show you next? I'll show you down the end. So down the end, I do have my little library section, which is here. I do like some good patchwork books, and I really, really love vintage books as well. And I've got a few of my little vintage sewing machines, and then I have all of my let me show you. Oh, Bailey Cat is here again. I have all my waddings. Try to keep the wadding as tidy as possible, but it doesn't always happen. And obviously, because I do a lot of quilting, I tend to buy it in the bulk because it's cheaper buying in the bulk. But obviously, you do need to store it, so that could be a bit of a problem. And then I have my shelf up the top here, which is for my lovely Crafty Stitchers group. So all of their stuff is there. So we just grab it and go off to the group, which is great. And Bailey has just pushed a pen on the floor, I think. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. And then over here, we have all of my fleeces. And this section here is a bit of a new section, really. You can see there's like 2 boxes. And this is for my vintage quilts. So the one in the top has a vintage patchwork that was made in 1890, and I'm building that into a talk. And you might have seen some of my Facebook lives back in March when we went to the grave of the lady who made that when she was a girl. So that's in that box. And this is my new one, which I recently got, and it is a quilt that's made in 1916, and it's a Durham. Oh yeah, Terry, can't wait to meet the kitten. I know she's very naughty though. She's very naughty. So this is my new one that's a Durham quilt. It's absolutely amazing, and I've been doing lots of research on that, and the lady who I brought it from has given me lots of interesting interesting family history, so that's going to be good. Yeah, so this is basically where I'm going to keep all my quilts, like my vintage quilts, the quilts I do talks on. So we've got the Arizona quilts that I brought back from QuiltCon, which I'm going to do another Facebook Live, and then you can see all that as well. So yeah, so obviously, as you know, I do love my Liberty quilts, and my Liberty quilts, my Liberty fabrics, are there, and they have their own little shelf, they have their own little suitcases because they're very special. And then I have some Tildas, and I have some Moders, and yeah, so that is actually my own fabric stash. I know that's a bit insane, and so this has only like grown in the last, what, I don't know, 2.5 years. It's a bit mad, really, because before it was all flowers. But so I was mentioning earlier about the SHQA shop, which I'll talk to you more about the website in a bit. But I'm going to show you our little shop area, because and you can just see Bailey Cat sitting there. Here comes Bay. And say hello, Bay. Come along. Ha ha ha. She's very cute. Bailey is 5. And so this area here is where we're going to keep all of our SHQ. Sorry, I just kicked the frame. This is where we're going to keep all our SHQA stock. So I'm going to talk you through what we've got. Hold on, I'm going to come in front. So hello, I'm back. And so we don't know where the pussycat is, but anyway. So yeah, so in our shop we are going to be stocking some Tilda fabrics, but not huge amounts of Tilda fabrics. And we're going to definitely have Fiskars, because I personally love Fiskars. So we are stocking things like rotary cutters and the little thread snips. All of these things you're going to find on our website. I will do another Facebook Live, maybe YouTube thing, to demonstrate all these things so you can see what they are. And there's some other bits and bobs. We're also stocking Aliso irons, the Tula Pink irons, which are just wonderful, which are these ones, and I'll do a demo on those. We've got the big ones, we've got the small ones. There's great sides to both of them, really, so you can treat yourself to both maybe. But and then we've got, I'm going to turn you to here. So this is all of my pattern section, which I've been printing off. So you will be able to buy them printed, but you'll be able to buy them as a download as well if you want to. So yeah, so it's really getting busy here with everything for the So Happy Quilters Association. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the camera back to here and then come around the other side, and you could just entertain yourselves with the Bailey Cat at the minute. I think she's there somewhere. There you are, Bay. Are you going to be good? I think she's going to be good. Haha, so I'm back. So yeah, so that is a real quick little thing around my sewing room, just so you can see it. And before I come on to tell you all the things that are going on, and I'll show you a few bits and bobs that I want to just either give away or just see if anybody's interested in them. There's a little mini stash sale because I have sorted out loads of stuff now. So there's some stuff that needs to go, as it always is with everything. I've got to try and find my pencil because Bailey's knocked it on the floor. It's the first thing I want to do is give a big shout out to Isaac, Luna May and Joshua, because they are my new little fan club and they're so cute. And apparently they really love watching me on YouTube, so it's very strange. But hello to Isaac, Luna May and Joshua. And whenever I'm out and about, I'll keep trying to say hello to you because I know you will absolutely love that. So yes, and let me first of all show you, yes, but she is very, very beautiful. I don't know where Bailey's gone. She's gone over there somewhere. I tried to get the other two, but they didn't want to know. So let me first of all show you just a few bits and bobs that I either want to send off to new homes, or, hi Beryl, or you might be interested in buying, who knows. So first of all, we have a little box of things. I'm going to show you these. So I started off using these Fat Quilter storage bags, and they're really, really great. But as you can see, my Fat Quilters have rather grown out of these, and yes, I don't use them anymore. So I was just thinking if anybody would like them, you can just email me or message me and just pay the postage and you can have them. So we have two. Oh, there's the pencil. She knocked it in the box. So we have two that are spotty. They are quite good. I think they hold maybe about 30 Fat Quilters, I think. It's been a long time actually since I've had them in it, but you've got like these sections. You might have seen them at quilt shows or anything. We've got these sections. These ones actually came from Hobbycraft, so That's where they came from. So we have 2 that are spotty, and then I have a lovely pink one, and then I have a lovely purple one, so they're all the same with little handles. They're quite helpful, and then a little flowery one. So yeah, so definitely with those, if anybody's interested, just send me a message, and I'll just work out what the postage is. I'll just do it second class or whatever, so it's really cheap, and you're welcome to have them. Just give them a new home, because they've been very lonely, not having any fat quarters in them. So yeah, so we'll make them happy. So that's those. And then I've got a couple of like storagey things, so I'm going to show you the storagey things. So this is the first one. I do like storagey things, but obviously having had my sort out, I don't use these anymore. So it's like, yeah, so it's got like little packets and little things and little whatevers, and you can put your pens in it and maybe take it to sewing retreats, I don't know. And then there's another one, so that's a flowery one, and this one is it's called an Everything Mary one, and I have used this, and you can put lots of bits and bobs inside it. And again, if you want these, just give me a shout. I'll pop them in the post to you. I'll just give them a new home. And then I have got a couple of other bits and bobs. So a sewing logbook. Have you ever seen one of these? I mean, I did buy it thinking I probably might fill it in at some point, but then I never got to fill it in. And I actually started doing a different kind of scrapbook. But it's quite good because you can fill it in with all your patterns and your bits and bobs and what have you. And again, if you can give that a home, you can use it, let me know. I'll post it to you. So that is that. And then I have got 2 of these, which are Debbie Shaw's English paper piece in blocks. One is the Lily, and it's actually got 12 blocks in it, and there's the papers on the back. And the other one is the, which one is this? It's a kaleidoscope, and it's the English paper. But as you know, I use hexiform to do all my quilts, so I'm never going to use these. I mean, they're great, and I did buy them, you know, to use them, but I'm not going to use them now. So if anybody wants them, can pop them in the post to you, just let me know. And then the last little thing on the giveaways to just pay the postage is this little box. I think I won it in a competition, and I've got so many bobbins, and obviously I've got my Benina, so she uses bigger bobbins, and so it's a little bobbin box with quite a lot of bobbins in it, and you have 2 sides to it. I'm just trying to think where I won it. I cannot remember. Anyway, so yeah, lots of little bobbins. So again, if you want that, let me know, and I can put that in the post to you. So just let me know. It's 2 little storagey things. If you want it all, great, amazing. Give it all a home. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fat quarter bags, and they are super helpful. So let me know. I will put that there. Let me know on that. So then I do have, like I mentioned earlier, I do like storage bags, and I have had a few storage bags, and I've got a couple which maybe people wanted to buy because I haven't actually used them. So this is the first one. This is quite nice. It's quite nice for like a first sewing bag, I think. It's got lots of sections inside it. You've got lots of like things on the side. I'm sure that my lovely friend Tony remembers me buying this in Birmingham NEC, and I didn't thoroughly intend on using it, but actually I'm not going to use it. But I think it might want to go off to a lovely home somewhere, and it is really great. And in fact, when I've set up like my first sewing kit, if you like, for a couple of people, I've been asked to set them up. I've always done them in these bags because it's quite a nice little bag. You can get lots of stuff in it. So I was thinking with this, maybe £10. If you're interested in buying it for £10, I would be, you would, Bernie, yes, do you remember Tony? So Bernie, you would like the Everything Mary bag and the bobbin box. That is yours. I will write it on the list, so you are welcome to have that. So bobbin, I'm going to write it down, and the Everything Mary. I'm glad you're going to have them, Bernie, because I know they'll have a happy home. So yeah, so this one, I think they're about £45 to buy. So, and I haven't used it, and I thought £10 is probably okay. And then I think the postage will probably be £5. So we'll keep it as cheap as we possibly can. So just let me know on that one. And then I have this one. Again, I haven't used it at all. It's an Omni-Grid little bag thing. I mean, it's quite nice. It is quite nice because you can put a little cutting board inside there, and then you've got all these little sections here, and it's like I said, Omni-Grid make, and it's got a nice little handle. And when I bought it, I thought, you know, it would be really helpful, but I've never actually used it, and it stayed brand new. And again, if anybody's interested in that, then I'd be happy to receive £10 for that as well. But obviously, if you want to make an offer, please make an offer. So then the next thing is I actually have 2 of these, and these, you're probably thinking these look a bit scrapbooky, and they are. They're actually bags for scrapbook, for if you're doing scrapbooking, but they're really good for quilting because you've got all these sections inside it, as you can see, where you can put all your patchwork blocks. And actually I did use one of them to do that, and now I use completely different bags, and so I don't use them. But you have this section here. I'm going to unclip it and show you, and then you've got all these lovely little sections. It's quite great. So yeah, so it's certainly, although it's made by Paper Mania, and it's made for scrapbooking, it's definitely, you can definitely use it for quilting and patchwork because you can put your blocks in there. And I think the size, I can probably hear people saying, what is the size of it? I think it is for a 14-inch block. And I have had folded blocks inside it as well, so you know, so it can work really well. And then you've got a lovely fold there, and you've got a pocket in the front, and then you've got a lovely handle. So I do have 2 of these, and they're both the same. And again, I just wanted £10 each for these because these are about £60 I think to buy. But you know, we will see how, if anybody's interested in those. And you just need to make some space because something I'm going to get out is very big, and I will show you that. So, but before the very big item, the last little item is this one. You might have seen these. They actually still sell these. This is completely brand new, never been used. They still sell these in Hobbycraft. And I was in there the other day doing a video for our YouTube channel, and one of these bags was, what was it, £42? I mean, it was a bit insane. But it's by Soline. It's a Soline Glow Gold Multi-Craft bag. And what is great, it is quite cute because you unzip it here, and then you fold it out, and you've got a little ironing section. You'd love the fat quarter. Yeah, that's amazing, Susan. You can have those. I can bring the fat quarter storage bags to you. That would be wonderful. So yes, it's got a little ironing section, so you can go to like your sewing retreats and then set up, and you've got a little ironing bit. I thought that's probably why I brought it, because it's a bit cute. I do tend to buy things because they're cute, but and then you've got all these sections inside, and a nice little handle, and a nice little thing on the front, and again, I was just going to sell that for £10. So yeah, so you have got this one, the Omni-Grid one, and this one, and then the 2 scrapbook ones, which are all useful bags. And it'd be great if they could go off to a great home, and then I can have more space, and they can be used. So I'm going to put them down there. So then I've got something a bit weird, and you're probably thinking, what on earth is it? Let me get it. So I don't know if you ever saw one of these. They were actually on sale. They weren't at Festival of Quilts, but they were at the craft show, the Birmingham Craft Show NEC. And I really wanted one at the time, but I didn't actually go ahead and get it because it was about £150 to actually buy one at the time by the guy who designed it, and I'll tell you who designed it. And then I actually bought this one. I did buy it second hand, but I still paid nearly £80 for it, so so it's still got a lot of value even with it second hand. But it's a thing called a lapdog. And it was designed by a husband for his wife, and he gave, I don't know if Tony remembers this story. Yeah, it is. You might actually like this, Terry. And just so you know, I'm going to tell you the price in case you want to jump in and grab it. I only want £20 for this, so if you want it, you know, it's great. I'll tell you the story. So, and I'm sure Tony remembers because we were there together when he was like telling us. He was fed up with his wife having a lap tray with all of her craft stuff on it, and every time she got up to go to the toilet or to make a cup of tea or do anything, everything would go everywhere, and he just got incensed by it. And he designed this. I'd love to know if these people are still around. Actually, I don't know. But so inside is. Just going to take this off because I had a little craft thing recently. Inside is this. You're thinking, wow, what is that? I know. So it literally is a lap tray. Look, that's why it's called a lap dog, because you put it on your lap. And they did sell it in like different variations, so you didn't have to get the bag, you know, you didn't have to get the top, but you could just buy this. But I thought at the time, wow, it's such a great design. So I'm going to put it down, and I just, you take the lid off, so that is the lid, and then it comes with all of like the information there, the little lapdog information, and as you can see, I'm going to hold it up, as you can see, it's got loads of sections, and it's got, you know, to put your pens in, it's got little pots for things, it's got a cutting board. If I remember rightly, you can, oh yeah, look, it's got another section, and I think there's even another section, so you can see this lovely man. He was a nice guy, Tony, wasn't he? I remember it was a long time ago. I don't know, I mean, I can't remember how long ago, but it must be oh my god, 10 years maybe, I don't know. But I really wanted one at the time, and they were so expensive, and I thought, oh, I don't know. So I was really chuffed I got one second hand. And yeah, so it's got all these sections, and it's also, you would be amazed, got a light. And he designed it so the light would go in some ways. I thought, oh yes, that's right. It's a bit, because we've been tidying everything up in here, I haven't really like got quite like looked at it very much, but so it's got a light that is, it's extendable, and yeah, it even works. Look, it's so cute. And if I remember rightly, it goes in one of these slots, maybe that slot. Oh, it goes in both of the slots, actually. Yes, it goes in both of the slots. And then obviously so then, you know, I mean, what an amazing husband. He wants to design that. I don't know whether he ever patented it or anything. And but I don't know. I'm kind of like falling in love with it again. But I'm thinking, yeah, I can't justify keeping it because I need the space. I need to buy more fabric. But yeah. So that's the little light that goes with it, and it's so cute. So that goes in there, and then you've got all these sections. You've got this lovely little bit. I mean, it's not, as you can see, it's not heavy at all. It's just really, really useful with all these little sections in it for like all your, you know, your sewing-y bits and your pens and all sorts. And then you can, I will put the lid back on in a minute. And then you've got, so you have that bit there. He should have done well. Yeah, we should have done well, Carla. Yes, I know. So then you have that bit. I think did that bit go there, or did it go on the top? Let's have a look. So that bit there, and then you've got this bit, and also as well, what's handy is the cutting board is, not only is it in inches, it's also in centimetres, and that's really helpful. So if you're doing, you know, your patchwork and you want to do rotary, sit on your lap and do a little bit of rotary cutting, you can. And then, of course, in the true style that the guy, I wonder if his name's on it. No, it's not. What a shame. And then in the true style that the guy designed it for the husband, for the wife, it's like, oh, the phone's ringing, or the doorbell's gone, or I've got to go make a cup of tea. Your stuff is everywhere. And then you put it down, you get your lid, and then you put your lid on it, and then you're good to go. It's amazing, isn't it? It's quite funny. Oh, I just found another little pad thing that went with it. Let's put that in there. And so it's a great little thing. But as you can see, you know, it's quite big. But then if you're sitting in the lounge and you're on the sofa and you just want to have a lap tray, you can put it in there. And so then it goes back into this lovely, lovely bag, and that keeps it all protected. So we're going to put it back into there, and I'll put that into here, and then you can zip it in it. So you zip it around. And yeah, so it is really, really funny. I think it's a great thing. And so that is the lapdog tray. And yeah, so I just thought if anybody wants it for no, if anybody wants it for £20, I'd be happy if anybody would take that. And then, I mean, the postage might be about, don't know, maybe 7 to 10, because it is a little bit weighty and we need to find a box for it, but we can sort that out. We can work out how to send it. But it's all like padded, so it should be protected for the journey. And so yeah, so that is just my little stash sale bits. Just so you know, the Bailey cat has gone back in because she was scratching at the door, and my husband's come and collected her and took her away. So you're not going to get to see Bay anymore. They do come out here sometimes, but because they're very precious cats, because they're pedigrees, they don't go in the garden. They literally just get carried over, and we call it the cat bus. So I'd say, right, the cat bus is leaving, are you coming with me? But if I'm working on quilts or I'm doing lots of sewing, they generally don't come out because they can be a bit of a pain, in all honesty. And I definitely don't have them in here when people are doing sewing workshops either. My cats are actually non-allergic cats because they're Siberians, so it would help, you know, if people do have, you know, allergies, you know, so that it'd be fine for them, but they only come out a little bit. So yeah, so that is all of our things, and I've just got a few little bits and bobs just to update you on, which is quite exciting. So today I've had actually a really fabulous week. Yesterday I spent all day at the Chichester Hospital with lots of doctors and nurses doing sewing with them, and the plan is we're making these squares, and we're going to 4 different hospitals, and then they're going to be made into quilts, which are going to be given out on the wards back at the hospitals. And that was really lovely because, as you know, the So Happy Quilters Association is all about sewing for mental well-being, and it definitely is good for people, for doctors and nurses and anybody who works in the NHS really, to do sewing because it's really good for your mental well-being. So that was a great day yesterday. And then today I went and collected my 3 sewing machines, so that was really exciting. So if you probably saw on the Facebook page, I was a bit miserable last week because they'd gone off. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I have to do more hand sewing. And I picked them up today from Paul. He is Sussex Machine Services. He was really, really great. And I actually gave him one of my vintage sewing machines to service, and this is a new one that I've got recently because in all this sorting of everything out to get everything in for the So Happy Quilt Association stuff, we've done a few trips to the tip like you always do, and of course I go to the tip and I obviously found a vintage sewing machine and we were actually giving them some stuff. I said, so how does this work, you know, can we exchange it for the table that we're giving you, you know, or, you know, and they're like, no, you have to buy. I was, oh, okay, so how much do you want for it? And they said, oh, usually be £10. I said, right, okay. I only had 8 on me, and yes, they come back from service, and so I only had 8, and I got this, and it's a lovely, lovely vintage sewing machine. And so I will, at some points later in the year, probably end of August, September maybe, because we've got our Facebook Lives and YouTube and stuff fixed in till then. I will do a Facebook Live just showing you my vintage sewing machines because they are so adorable, and that'll give Paul the chance to repair this one. And it's a really old one because it has a shuttle. It doesn't have a bobbin, so it's a Singer, but it's a the bobbin. So it's like, oh wow, it's amazing. So I picked up the sewing machines from Paul and then dropped off the vintage one, and then we went to the Felbridge Hotel in East Grinstead to do a video so that everybody who's already booked onto the sewing retreat or other people that would like to book onto the sewing retreat can see exactly where you're going to be parking to unload, the room you're going to go into, the breakout rooms you can go into, the bedrooms, the spa, the main reception. What else do we look at? The restaurant, and so our lovely YouTube editor Eloise is currently working on that one, and we should have that up by the end of the week, so you can have a look at that. So we do still have spaces on the sewing retreat. We have 12 people booked for it so far, and we have space up to 25. So so I've shown you actually both of the rooms. So at the moment it's going to be in the Willow Suite, and then it might be in the Mulberry or the other one, which I can't think of the top of my head. It might be in that one, and so you can have a look at what it's going to be like, really. So it's quite exciting, and actually the staff of the Felbridge are really excited that we're coming for a sewing retreat, and they've said they've had yoga retreats and painting retreats, but they've never had sewing retreats. And I was telling them about what we're going to do, and that, you know, we're going to have our yeah, it's really, really, really helpful, Tony, to have that. And we're going to have our ironing tables out and our cutting tables out, and I'm going to create a design wall for people to put stuff up on, and probably quilt displays. And yeah, and they were really, really excited. They were like, oh, this is so great, and what do you need us to do, and how can we lay the table out? And I was like, oh, this is fabulous. So the staff are very excited to have us, which is amazing. So do keep a lookout for that. I will put it on the Facebook page when that goes live, so you can watch it. But if you know any friends that want to come along, then I can always email them the information, so have a look at that. And also In the meantime, there's a few more videos that have gone on to the YouTube channel as well. So the sewing retreat I did in March has recently gone on there. The Japanese SHQA stitching workshop I did on at the sewing studio in the Isle of Wight, that's just gone on there. That was a lovely, lovely class, really lovely, lovely ladies, and they made amazing stuff. So that was a wonderful workshop. And then we've got a few that are upcoming, which are in, so my glasses keep slipping, which are upcoming for you to watch. One of them is again at the Isle of Wight Sewing Studio, and that's talking to the lovely Karen who owns it, and she is the only brother sewing machine dealer on the island, and she talks us through all of her sewing machines, from literally your basic of like your £90 ones to your thousands of pound ones, and it was a really, really great day. So so I'm looking forward to seeing that video. And the other one I've done as well is gone Easter fabric shopping, so you can come with me and we went to Dunelm, and then the Range, and then Home Bargains. We went to Home Bargains and to look at those, so that was really good fun as well. So I'm just going to get a sip of water. There's a lot of talking, and then talk to you about festival. I've just got my little list to refer to so I don't forget anything. I'm just going to talk. Hi Poppy. Hi. So I'm just going to talk to you about Festival of Quilts, and so this is again is really, really getting exciting. Plans are full steam ahead for that, and we've put all of our information in that's going to go into the magazines, into the programs, and what they links that they send to us as well, and to link back to our website and to like help promote them. And so obviously there is a deadline coming up if you want to enter your quilt, and the deadline is the 11th of June. And remember, the category that we are sponsoring is called For the Joy of Sharing. So your quilt is not going to be judged, it's just going to be up there just for everybody to join, everybody to admire and look at. And the SHQA team, we are all going on the Thursday, so if you want to come and see us all, we're all going to be there, which is going to be amazing. And then we are there on the Friday as well, and I'm hoping to be able to interview some people that've got some quilts up, so we can talk to you about your quilts, which would be really nice. Yeah, so the deadline, excuse me, to enter your quilt is the 11th of June. And then what you have to do is you have to deliver. There's two options on it. You can either deliver your quilts between the 30th of June and the 14th of July to a company called Bill Bowden Events Logistics, who are in Burgess Hill. That is like half an hour away from where I live, so that's quite mad, really. I would never have thought that company in Burgess Hill are dealing with all the quilts going to Birmingham. I mean, it's bad, but it's wonderful. So you can, I was reading all the information, and I've spoken to Immediate Live, and you can, it's very, very well organised, and you can just go to Bill Bowden's event logistics, take your quilt, get your receipt for it between those dates of the 30th and the 14th, 30th of June, sorry, 14th of July, and then you can hand your quilt in there. And then after festival, you can have your quilt returned back to Bill Bowden, and you can then go and collect it again if you want to, or they can post it to you, and it can all be insured, so it's very, very safe. And of course the other option is that you are allowed to hand deliver your quilt to the NEC, but they would want it on Monday the 28th of July, so that is like the Monday in the week leading up to festival, because obviously they need to get them all set up. So it would be absolutely amazing if our category of For the Joy of Sharing is the biggest category. It would just be wonderful. And I do have a little discount code for you, so you can get cheaper tickets. And don't worry, I'm going to say it on the video, but it will go out in all my newsletters and all the blogs and everything on Facebook and everything else. And the discount code is SHQ25. So S for sew, H for happy, Q for quilters, and 25 for the year 2025. And I've been told that you'll get £2 off. I mean, you know, it's better than nothing. But and it's a great show. Festival Quilts is a great show. There's going to be some amazing stands there. Even the other categories are going to be amazing. And I think it's always good to try and do 2 days if you can, so you can walk around the stands and the quilts and maybe do workshops on the other day. But you won't miss us. You'll know who we are, because we're going to have really lovely sashes on. But also, you're probably wondering what my lovely badge is about. So this is also to do with festival initially. And we are going to be providing anybody who would like a lovely badge with the So Happy Quilters Association on it, and it's got our website, www.shqa.co.uk. It's got that. So if you like one of these, we can make it into a little rosette for you. Then you can wear that around the show. Just message me, email me, rachel@shqa.co.uk, and I can pop you one in the post. And it'd be wonderful. I mean, I'd be really, really wonderful if you could help support us that way. That would be great. When we go to the other quilt shows later in the year, when we go to Malvern and we're going to go to Suffolk, we are going to be showing people how to make these lovely rosettes to wear. So that's like a nice little snippet for the future, really. So that is the information for Festival of Quilts. And the other like little bits and bobs is at the moment our website, so we've still got our landing page at the moment, but our main platform of our website should be going live on the 9th of June, and so it's all very much in being made, being coded. We've seen like the bits and bobs of it, and if you look on the pictures that I put on Facebook, or Eloise actually put them on Facebook, I put them on Instagram today, it shows our leaflets, then that gives you a bit of a clue as to what the colours of the website will be and how the look of it will be. Obviously it does incorporate our lovely logo, but there is going to be lots of other colours as well, because patchwork is very colourful and we're very happy, very colourful, so that's what it's going to be like. So we are really, really excited. So that's on the 9th of June. And then we've got another hospital we're going to on the 11th of June, which is Worthing. And then the last little thing is on Friday the 13th of June is Kempton Park Quilt Show, which is run by the Grosvenor Events Company. And Friday the 13th of June is actually National Sewing Machine Day. And so did you know that? Yeah, I know, it's amazing. There is also a National Quilting Day, which is in March next year, so we're going to try and do something for that. I think it's the 27th of March, I don't know. But the National Sewing Machine Day. So on the events list on Facebook at the moment, you'll see all my other Facebook lives, and you'll notice that one of them is on Friday the 13th at Kempton Park Quilt Show. So I will be going live at 3 o'clock, and then I'm going to show you around probably for about half an hour, show you around the show, show you some of the quilts, show you, because it's not a big show, but it's a lovely show, show you some of the suppliers, show you some of the fabrics. So we'll be doing that about 3, and then at 3:45 I'm actually going to be talking to the World of Sewing and talking to them about their sewing machines, because they're going to have lots of different makes of sewing machines, and we can talk to them about that. So that'll be another video that will go on our YouTube channel. So so that is all the updates. So hopefully Bernie is still watching, because I'm about to open the box. So for those of you that don't know, when I was having all my tidying up, because I make all my lovely quilts, and I find it really difficult to send them off to be long armed, and I literally just text Bernie, went, help, I just need help, I need to get them long armed to be finished. So so they actually arrived back today, and I've seen little videos of them being made, but I haven't actually seen them, so this is going to be really exciting. So I'm just going to make some space, and there's one in particular I can't wait to see what it's actually going to be like. So let's have a look. Right, so so this, oh my goodness, oh wow, okay, so this is the first one. Let me just make a bit of space, hold on. Right, so let's see. Oh, you're excited, Bernie? I know. That's great, isn't it? I'm so excited. Oh, okay. So this is the one that has the. Let's move my piece of paper, because that is proper getting in the way. And I sent all the backings to trouble. I sent all the backings to Bernie, and I just said, you choose which backing goes on it. So they're all Liberty quilts, and obviously. But you haven't edged them for me, Bernie. You haven't done the binding. No, I love doing that. That's actually one of my most favourite things. So this is the one. Wow. I mean, it looks so different from when I sent it. So this one, let's open it out. Hold on. Let's see. Wow. Oh, hang on. Wow. So this is actually a kit that I bought from Alice Caroline, and I did hexiform these ones, and then I appliqued them onto the blocks. And you know what? You can't really see where the blocks are, can you, Bernie? I'm amazed. I love the blue. Can you see the blue? Look. It's got like blue, pale blue stitching, and I chose it to have it in the butterflies. And yeah, it's really, really lovely. And then this is the backing, and I'm sure Tony's going to remember the backing because we got this when we went to Liberty in January for the January sale. And lovely Bernie's, because it was in pieces and it was all bit put together, but wow, it's amazing. Oh my goodness, it's let's open the other ones. Let's have a look at the other ones. I will get some photos of them like all hanging so you can see the whole thing. I don't know if you did that, Bernie, but I will take photos of that. So let's put that on there. I love that fabric. Right, so the next one, ooh, lovely. Let's see this one. Oh my God. Oh wow. Let's see. Oh, it's very because you can feel the hexiform on it. Hi Julie. Because you can feel the hexiform on it, you can, yes, it's like, it's much more sturdier, isn't it? But yeah, it's great. So let's have a look. Oh my goodness. So let's you proper folded them up. It is huge. I've forgotten how big it was. So what did you say, Betty? It was a beautiful fabric to work with. Yeah. So look at this one. Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's really, really lovely. And look at the, I don't know if you can see the long arming on it. Maybe a little bit. You might be able to see it better on the back. So with this one, is this one I chose the scissors. And I think it is, isn't it? The scissors and the was it scissors? It might have to remind me, Bernie. Is it scissors and needles and something or other? I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you don't know. But yeah. I think it was definitely a good choice going with just a what they call barely there cotton, because there's so many colours in it. And I think if we'd put a colour over the top, it might have distracted from the actual, you know, from the actual colours. Yeah, Julie, you might remember seeing this at our Crafty Stitchers group, because I brought it back early last year, I think, when we were doing hexiform. So it has come out wonderfully, absolutely wonderfully. Wow. Okay, you're thinking, let's see the next two. Yeah, there's two more. And I'll build them up like that again, Bernie, so there's loads for you to do. I'm currently working on trying to get my Bridgerton one finished. I'd love to get that one finished with all the Bridgerton fabrics. So that will be lovely. Let's put that there. Right, into the box for the next one. Let's see. Oh my goodness, which one should we go first? Oh, okay, so there's fabrics that are left over. And of course, they are going to live on the Liberty shelf. So we will put them straight away. And let's go for this one. So you will know which one this is. I have no. Scissors, needle, sewing machine, bobbin, and an iron. Wow. That's a really clever, amazing pattern, isn't it, really? I mean, yeah, on my well, actually on my Janome and my Benina, when I do a label, I do like a little thing going around it, and that has that like connected up, but it's really, really small. And I've never seen it long armed. So what we're gonna, oh my goodness, let me see, where is it? Oh wow, okay. Okay, so we have this one on the back. I'm going to have great fun rotary cutting all the edges of these and then binding them. And I think probably what I'll do when I've done the binding, I will, I'll show you them when they're finished, I think, because I think that'd be quite nice. And I might swap all the binding colours round, the backings round. So yes, so right, stop waffling and have a look. Oh my goodness, it is wonderful. It is wonderful. Look at this one. Wow, hang on. Let me just hold it down here. It is huge again. I think it is, I don't know, Bernie, you'll know the size. I think it was like double bed size or just over double bed size. But yeah, so this is obviously one of the quilts that I showed you in my very first Facebook Live. And so it's now been long armed. And wow, it's like fighting with the quilts. Let's have a look. Oh, so this is the one that we did the butterfly one as well, and the pink is amazing. The pink works really, really well with it. Really, really well. I love it. Wow. Oh, you're so clever. Or I should say, your machine's very clever. No, you're very clever as well, Betty. Right, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to have a big pile of quilts again. And there's one more. And I'm trying to think, hang on a minute, which quilt was it? Was it the patchwork? I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, I love the backing. I love the backing. No sweets then, Bernie. I'm a bit disappointed there's nothing in the box. I saw you sent my little one back. Thank you for that. That's very, 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 very lovely. Right. So this is another one that's got, yes, I can see it now. Actually, you can see it better on this one because it's got the blue background. You can see the stitching. Let me see if I can kind of trace it out. So you've got, so that's the, is that the cotton? Oh, there's the scissors there. There's the scissors, scissors, and then you've got the cotton. Oh, and the sewing machine. I don't know if you can see that really that well, but let's have a look at the front of this one. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, I love it. Oh, okay, so it's a 66 by 72, yeah. So this, I think, I'm hiding. I think I probably did show you this one earlier in the year, and before it was long armed. And this is the quilt that I sewed quite a lot on in a 10-hour flight to Utah, literally this time last year, and sewed it all into the aisle, and met the lovely Amy, who's an air hostess. And so Amy, if you're watching or you watch it back, hello Amy, because I know you're part of our group now. And this one I completely designed on my own. Actually, I didn't like whereas the other ones were Alice Caroline's like block of the months, but I built it all up and did it in one hit. Whereas this one, what I wanted to do was a hexagon shape. So I did like diamonds and triangles, hence that one there. I did it in a hexagon shape, and then I did the triangles here. And then because of how the end was, I fitted in that. And I think the blue goes really, really well because there's a huge contrast to 71 by 74 with 113 stitches. Wow. Oh, that reminds me, I'll tell you something about my sewing machine serviceman in a minute, because that reminds me about the stitches. So I put these bits on the end just to give it a nice bit of contrast, but I love it, absolutely love it. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it, but look at the long arming. Amazing. Well done, Bernie. I'm very happy. Love it. But yeah, my stitches, I'll tell you this quickly, so I'm just aware of the time, and just to tell you something funny. So when I collected my sewing machines today, and I collected my Benina 790, and he put it on the group about the amount of stitches that I've done. So it's over 2.5 million stitches on my Benina 790 in 2 years. And he said that's very impressive amount of stitching, given the fact you haven't used the embroidery module once. I said, well, thank you. And I said, I think that's probably all those Disney quilts that I did last year for the fish extenders on the Disney cruise. And yeah, that's probably what it was. But 2.5 million, I was like, wow. I mean, if I added up all the other stitches, I'd love to know how many I've done. but yeah, so hopefully everyone is well, and you're really looking forward to the things that are coming up. The next thing, thank you, Maria, thank you. So the next thing is the Facebook Live that I'm doing on the Friday the 13th of June, which will be at Kempton Park. And obviously I'll be walking around and I can show you some of the things. We're going to go in the morning, and so if I find anything that's really special, obviously I'll make a beeline for that. And also the Sew Easy tables, I think Claire's going to be there, so I can show you her stand. And then I will keep you up to date on all of the SHQA, the website going live and everything with regards to that, because it's really exciting. And we're hoping to have some kind of like a Zoom launch party maybe, so I can show you the website. We're just building everything in, and it's really great. And yeah, so it's been lovely to see you all and talk to you all. And I've got a note from Bernie for the bobbin box and the everything Mary, and then Susan, you want all the fat quarter boxes, so I've got your names for those. But if anybody watches this back and thinks, oh, I'd like the other stuff, just send me a message. And especially if you want the lapdog box, I'd love that to go off to a great home and be used. It's a very handy little thing. So lovely to see you all, and I will see you soon. Bye.
You can find and follow the So Happy Quilters Association on social media and their website.